Miyuyam atachem yo notung Jacque Nunez Yakai. I am here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, and I'm going to share just a little bit about my people, the Wanenyo Band of Mission Indians, Acjachemen Nation. First, a blessing. Ooh, oh, 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 yeah, yeah, reach to Om na Jesus to Om na hompa na hompa aros na chaya iya tahom tuom na chaya tahom tuom na. Welcome. Oh, I hope that you've stopped by to be with me for a little while so we can talk about my ancestors, so we can talk about how we have rejuvenated and unearthed and taken back our beautiful culture that sadly was taken from us a long time ago. And here we are at the Aquarium. We have had a partnership with them for almost 15 years. And we come and we share our culture, and they welcome us with open arms. And today, they welcome me, the storyteller, to tell you some stories. That's how we communicated. Why, the storyteller of the village would sit the children down and would speak about things that would help them to become a good person with a good heart. As you look at my table behind me and you see some beautiful things, we're going back in time just a little bit to see what was life like in the coast by San Juan Capistrano and mostly all of Orange County. And our neighbors to the north were the Tongva, and to the east were the Kauai, and to the south were the Kumeyaay. And there were so many similarities. We were all basket weavers, and our basket started with this material right here, which is yucca. And yucca has to be pounded at the leaf. It's green, and we pound it. So if you're out there, just pound it with me and wash it and rinse it. And it takes several hundred times to prepare it so that you can have one knot in the middle of the basket to start the basket. We even call the center of that basket the belly button because it's the birth of the basket. And there are several other plants that are used: juncus, deergrass, thule, and of course, the yucca. Now, baskets could be small, they could be big, and I hold in my hand the basket that my mother made a long time ago, which really means a lot to me because her hands touch this basket, and it means ever so much to me. Well, when I look at these baskets, I know that every one of these baskets had a purpose, just like each and every one of us. We all have a purpose to be on earth. For the person that's looking on, well, I don't know what your gift is, but for the person who's holding the camera, this was her passion. And now she's doing exactly what she wants to do. And if I challenge you to think of anything, it's to discover what you love to do and find ways to do it. And if you're young, volunteer and keep volunteering until they open up a position. Because I always wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher when I was 7 years old. And my dad came home with a chalkboard. And I played on that chalkboard for many, many years. And I became a teacher. Well, The baskets are important because we cooked in the baskets. We gathered in the baskets. In fact, our baskets were used to gather our main staple, which is acorns. And when we would gather the acorns, then we had to crack them, separate them, grind them, rinse them, and it was quite a process. But I'm going to sing a song for you, and if you catch on, you might sing it with me. So we take the basket like this, and we're winnowing. We've already done all the process. Now it's flour. Now we're going to toss it up in the air and catch it and blow. So little pieces of the acorn that shouldn't be there fly to the wind. It's called winnowing. Awa huna, awa huna, awa huna, hena, hena. Awa huna, awa huna, awa huna, hena, hena. I bet you caught that melody. Let's try it again, but I'll go faster. Are you ready? Awa huna, awa huna, awa huna, hena, hena. Awa huna, awa huna, awa huna, hena, hena. Oh, we had songs for everything, and we had prayers for everything too. Before we gathered any plant, we would ask permission to gather that plant, and we would give an offering. We still do that today. I gather yucca, and often I'll sing a song, I'll give a little water, and I thank the Creator for allowing me to take the plant to use it when I go to do my lessons in the classroom. So as I look at my table here, there's something very interesting that you may not know about, and that is that California Native Americans did not play the drum. Yes, you heard it right. We did not play the drum. We played clapper sticks, and our clapper sticks were made from the elderberry branch. And we would cut the branch off and we would peel it. Here's the bark, so the bark has to come off. We would sand it. Oh, and guess what we used to sand? Shark skin. Shark skin is a natural piece of recyclable skin from the shark that never runs out. And you hollow out the inside, and it has just a little sound like that. So I'm going to sing a song with this as well. Natui, yo, el tu di da di va, iche maha, yo poi, yo, ahamoya, he ile, chalo ya mi pomi boi, yo poi, yo poi, yo nahu no ya, asha amam, natui, yo, el tu di da di va. The prayer, the song says, blow softly on my skin, the wind. It's a beautiful song. Don't you love that feeling when the wind just comes upon you? And that's what that means. Now we have lots of other instruments like deer toenails. Yes, we were the first recyclers. We never threw anything away down to the deer toenails. Now, when I go to schools and I tell them that, you won't believe what the children say. They go, ew, oh, gross. And I say, oh my goodness, let's not judge any of the things that are on my table. Instead, take your finger, put it right here and say these words. That's different. And that deserves respect and understanding. And when you do that, and when you say that, something wonderful happens in your mind. It opens up. Open, open, open. It's open and ready to learn. But when you point and laugh and judge things that are different, this is what your brain does. Shut down, shrinky dinky dinky, and doesn't learn anything. So when you go to other cultures and you see their beautiful realia, which means all their different things, don't laugh at it. Don't judge it. Just stop, put your finger here, and listen, and you will become more well informed of how beautiful every culture is. I look at my table and I see something so fun. I have 6 sticks right here. And when I toss these sticks, if all come up like this, all decorated side, that is going to be 2 points. And if they come up all like this, plain, that's 2 points. And if they come up half and half, that would be half plain and half decorated. That's 1 point. But any other combination is 0. So this requires another song. And I think I'm going to throw it in the basket. So you can clap your hands out there. If you're there and you're somebody in 3rd or 4th grade or even younger, you clap your hands and I'll sing. Hey, Nikni, hey, wana. Hey, Nikni, hey, wana. Hupsy, wana, hey, wana. Hupsy, wana, hey, wana. Woo! Oops. No points, because that's 4 and 2. But I'm going to try it again because maybe I just didn't sing loud enough. So here we go. Hey, Nikni, hey, wana. Hey, Nikni, hey, wana. Hupsy, wana, hey, wana. Hupsy, wana, hey, wana. Woo! Let's see. 3 and 3. So I did get 1 point, and I'm excited about that because I don't always make points. You could reduplicate this with actually tongue depressors or popsicle sticks. Just decorate one side only. Put them in your hand, and if you can't remember the song, just go la 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 la, because what you're doing is bringing positive energy. You can't sing it like this. La 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 la. You can't sing it like that. You have to sing it from your heart or your belly, whichever is bigger. You know where I'm singing it from. All right, I'm going to set these down right here, and I'm going to look at something else. This is a replica right here of our Thule boats. And our Thule boats took us through the rivers all the way up to Alaska, and it would have sides on it. But see that? This is Thule, and they carry about 2 people, and it was our mode of transportation. And so we could go from village to village, taking some of our things and trading for the things that they had. And so the Thule boat was very, very important. And I see another game, so I'm going to have to play it. You can duplicate this, boys and girls, with a chopstick, a yarn, and a ring. You could make the ring out of a pipe cleaner. So here goes. I'm going to swing it up and I'll try to catch it. Oh, didn't get it. I'm going to try it again. Oh, the 3rd time I've got to be able to catch this thing. And I did. And you'll have fun making this with a chopstick, a piece of yarn, and a pipe cleaner. All righty. Let's go down the way here and see what else we have. This right here, of course, is example of our yucca. And one of the things I love to tell children is this: be involved in your school. Be involved with people. Make friends with every person that you want to be friends with. Hopefully you have lots of friends from different cultures, because if you stay by yourself and you say, I don't want to know anybody, you're like this little piece, easily broken. But if you stay together and you intertwine yourself with others, you become strong. And I've got a piece right here. I hope you can get a close-up of this, where we have intertwined our life with others. And when you intertwine your life with others, you're strong and not easily broken. Find the beauty of everyone, because everyone has something to share. And our community is rich with a diversity that I love to see today, where everybody is lifted up and everybody has something special to share. Wow, we come this way, and this is so interesting. It is a trap where trout would go in, but they couldn't come out. And we would have it on a rope, and we would put it right inside the creek, and several of them would be there. This was a man's job and a boy's job. And when the fish got in there, they pulled the trap out, and you would have a wonderful trout dinner that evening. Of course, we live by the ocean, and we could have lobster every night, and it didn't cost a market price as it does today. And so we loved anything from the ocean. It was like our market. We could go to the ocean and eat everything. Everything was edible. And here's an example of some of our foods that we love to eat, which is a lobster. But we also ate things that creeped and crawled on the land. And one of them is this. I know you're just about ready to go, ew! But yes, we ate grasshoppers. And we would roast them and eat them, and they sort of tasted like nuts. And so if you like peanut butter, I think you might like a roasted grasshopper. Of course, the most commonly hunted animal was the rabbit. And I have a rabbit skin right here. And when we hunted the rabbit, we saved every part of the rabbit, including the fur. And the fur was soft. And when we got cold, we made a rabbit cape that would keep us warm. And boys, and well, girls, first look, we had grass skirts, we had lots of necklaces, a basket hat, and I'm a little bit overdressed because I'm wearing a top. I know, we didn't wear tops, but we wore lots of necklaces. Boys, you want to see what you wore up till the age of 12? This right here. Can you see anything? That's because you wore nothing, absolutely nothing. And then when you got a little bit older, you got two of these in the front, you know why, and in the back, in case you're shy. But we just loved the creeks, we loved the ocean. We didn't require a lot of clothing. As I look here, I want to show you a beautiful display. I hope you don't get the reflection too much, but look at that fine detail. And those little teeny shells are glued on there with asphaltum, which is tar. And all of these pieces were sanded with the shark skin, and the holes were put in by a tool that we call the pump drill. And so shells adorned us. When we ate all the foods, we would save the shells because we knew that it was going to be time for us to make a necklace, so nothing was wasted. Everything was used. Oh, you've got to see what we wore on our feet when we went up the mountains. This is a Yucca Sandal. And this sandal right here is made, yes, with the fibers that you saw that started the basket. It's a little itchy, but it certainly protected your foot in case you went up the mountain and you saw a sticker. And it would really protect your foot. So this was the shoes that we wore. Ah, here's a good one. Here's a rattle. And look at that rattle. It's sealed up with the asphaltum, and then little shells are placed on there. Mostly the men played the rattles, and the women, we played the clapper sticks. And here's something that we need to talk about because, yes, we even saved the legs of the deer. And we attached the deer toenails right there. Isn't that something? This is evidence. This is evidence that we were the first recyclers on the coast of California. And right here in Long Beach, well, the Tongva were here, but we intermarried and our culture was very much the same except for our language. And then there was so much intermarried that, we had our translators. So we had a very good relationship with our neighboring tribes. Well, I'm going to tell you a story because I'm actually known for storytelling, but I need to grab my clapper stick, so follow me. And as we go over here, we're going to get a clapper stick that has a little bit of tar on there and a few little shells on it. I think I've clapped most of it off. And this is a one-handed clapper stick. A long time ago, in the village of Acjachemen, there lived a little girl, and her name was Shulayem. Shulayem was special. Even when she was inside her mother's tummy, her mother would lay on the soft rabbit fur. And she would look up out of the smoke hole, and she would count the stars in the sky. If you're out there, get your finger and count to 10 with me, will you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It was her favorite thing to do. And when that mother had her baby, she couldn't believe it, that her little girl had spots all over her face. She looked up at Creator and said, "Oh, Creator, you have given me a little girl with a night sky all over her face." Oh, you probably call them freckles. But a long time ago, this mother never even knew the word freckles. And so she just considered her daughter to be blessed with the fingertips of the Creator that left brown spots all over her face. I shall call her Shulayem, and she will be different and beautiful at the same time. And the little girl grew to be about like this. She was maybe 5 years old, and she loved to sing, but there was just one problem. Her ear couldn't quite connect with her voice. And so when she sang, it sort of sounded like this. Yahane, Yahane. Oh my goodness, she was so off tune that everybody ran away. Why, even the animals just just scattered about, and the skunk would come and throw his tail up and say, "What's going on here?" Well, that little girl grew just a little bit bigger, and her ear finally connected with her voice. And when she sang, it sounded like this. Ah, yeah, honey, yeah, honey, yeah, honey, na, na, yeah, honey, na, na, yeah, honey, na. And the rabbits would come to her feet, and the deer would nuzzle her elbow, and the badger would come out of his hole. Oh, but it was the dragonfly that swirled around everyone in the village, but only landed on her. And do you know why? Because she had a good heart. And when you have a good heart, you're kind and you're generous and you're forgiving. The dragonflies come close to you and they land on you. Oh, there was somebody in the village, a little boy that didn't have a good heart. He had a coyote spirit, and he didn't like that the dragonfly never landed on him. So he decided he was going to play a trick on Shulayem. And he got an abalone shell, and he put some mud in it, and he got a stick, and he began to put spots all over his face. And as he looked at himself, his reflection in the creek, he began to laugh. He couldn't wait to tease Shulayem. And he got his grandmother's clapper stick, and this is what he did. Yahane, 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 na, na, Yahane, na, na, Yahane, na. And Shulayem looked at him, and she backed out of the village, and a tear began to run down her face, and she went to her grandmother, who was gathering plants for a basket. She said, "Grandmother, why do I have spots all over my face?" Well, she picked up a soap root, and she began to scrub her face. And her grandmother came up, and she said, "Shulayem, never question the Creator, for it is He who placed those spots all over your face." "Really, grandmother?" "Yes." And Shulayem wiped a tear under her eye. And then the grandmother said, "Look, in the creek over there, why, there's two leaves. One is spotted and one is plain. Which one do you notice?" "The one with the spots on it." "Yes, it is the same one that the caterpillar finds and eats and becomes what? A butterfly." "Yes." And Shulayem wiped another tear. And then the grandmother said, "Now look at those two big stones. One is spotted and one is plain. Which one do you notice?" "The one with the spots on it." "Yes, it is the same one that the rattlesnake finds and sheds his old skin and becomes a new and beautiful creation. Don't you see, my dear, that you are special to Creator?" Oh, when the grandmother said those words, she wiped her tears, and she rubbed her nose, and she threw her hair back, and she picked up her clapper stick, and she was ready to sing when she noticed the little coyote boy. He was behind the willow tree, and he was crying. "Oh, nobody likes me. Nobody Nobody likes my tricks. And Shulayem forgave him. And she said, Mona, which means come here. He could not believe that she was calling him after she had teased her. And he came. Right now, his face was one big muddy mess. And she got that same abalone shell. And she put some water in it. And she put it over his head. And that water rinsed clean his face. And as he looked up, he said, she's everything that everyone says she is. She's so nice. She's so kind. I like her. He looked at Shulayem and said, Shulayem, yes, would you be my friend? Of course I'll be your friend. I'm so sorry. Oh, you're forgiven. And then the dragonflies came flying. He said, Shulayem, do you think a dragonfly will land on me? Shh, be still. Because that little coyote boy, he asked for forgiveness and his heart had changed. And the dragonflies came. They got close to him and they looked at him really hard and flew away. And then another one came and landed right on his nose. Shulayem, there's a dragonfly on my nose. Oh my goodness, it's looking at me and I'm looking at him and I think he likes me. And it flew away. And then the dragonflies came again and again and landed right on her shoulder. She looked at that dragonfly and looked up at Creator, and she placed her arm around her new friend, looked at him and smiled, and then reached up to the skies, for she knew their friendship was blessed by Creator. And I'm going to say ho, and you're going to say hey. Ho! I think I heard you say hey. Boys and girls, that's a story about being different. And if you've ever felt different, because maybe you're from a different culture, or maybe you have spots, maybe you have a birthmark, and you always felt a little different, remember that difference is what makes you beautiful. Celebrate yourself and celebrate your neighbor. And remember to be a good environmentalist, just like the Acjachemen and all the surrounding tribes of California. Make this finger just like this. This is an R in sign language. And say after me, recycle, reuse, renew, respect Mother Earth, respect the swimmers, respect the flyers, respect the crawlers, respect yourself, but especially respect your neighbor. For if your neighbor is different, learn what that difference is all about and celebrate your neighbor. And celebrating each other, we will create a beautiful community that includes you, includes me, and includes everyone in our community. And in my language, we say, Nukrun lo vegompalo, from a deep place in my heart. I thank you. Bye, boys and girls. But we're going to stop for a second because there might be a question and we can answer it, but no questions. So you be safe. I'm wearing my sparkly mask. We must wear our masks and we must always be kind. If there was one thing that you could learn from Miss Jackie is always, always be kind and you will make a difference. Ama, that means goodbye. I see you.